David in Bermondsey, moving towards possibly the last one. David.
Hi, Nick and Susan.
Hello.
Susan, Sadiq Khan's policies have massively increased congestion throughout London. Will you reverse those policies?
OK, it dropped a bit. Yeah, Sadiq Khan's policies have massively increased congestion charges and charges for motorists across the whole of London. What would you do about it, is in essence, because the land was a bit bouncy, I know that.
Right, OK, the first thing I do is to remove the ULEZ expansion on day one. That's a tax on the poor. It's an unfair tax. Secondly, there would be no road user charging in a Hall mayoral town. I can never say that word, because he's got a whole team of people looking at the software to put in pay per mile, and that will affect every single driver on our London streets. Sadiq Khan is waging a war on motorists. We're gridlocked in London for various policies that he's put in. The cycle lane on Park Lane is nothing but a nonsense and virtue signalling. 30 miles an hour should be back on the Finchley Road and places like that. We need a moving city. It's ridiculous. Some of the things that are put in place make my blood boil, because we need the city to be moving.
Mayoralty is, I think, the word that we're getting to.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word. Now,
I need to get that right.
OK, well, indeed, if you get the post, it might help. You probably are aware, a group of London Conservative MPs is bringing a private members' bill to Parliament to try and overturn the ULEZ expansion. Your reaction to that, and I assume you would fully support those MPs?
Of course I would, because they too are aware of just the damage that this particular tax, this unfair tax, is causing. But if it doesn't go through, or if there's a problem with it, don't worry. May the 2nd, vote for Susan Hall, who's a Conservative, to make Colin happy. But vote for Susan Hall, and I will stop the ULEZ on day one of my mayoralty.
And lastly, that means you've lost £5.3 million a week, of course, in finance. Recent data showing that's what came in the first week in late August. You don't need that £5.3 million to combat crime, to put more officers on the street?
I don't need it from the poorest members of our society, Nick. No, I do not. The one thing that you should never do is to go out of your way to tax the poorest in London. It's an utter disgrace.
Enjoyed our time together. Maybe we'll get to call Hall one day, but I sense we'll meet each other again before the vote. That's, of course, in May. Susan Hall, the Conservative candidate, appearing here on LBC.